Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, please allow myself to welcome myself and you to the greatest podcast known to man, and that is What's Good America. Yeah, the Christmas light's still up. You know, I mean, it is what it is. I ain't tripping. Whatever. So, I am Saint Nick himself, apparently. Father Christmas. Matter of fact, Father Kwanzaa. It's Black History Month, so I'm Father Kwanzaa right now. All right. I am him, and he is IIMC Dot Turner, the Prime Minister of Duval County himself. And welcome to the ignorance, because it's about to get real dry snitchy in here right now. And it's one of them dry snitches that like everybody knew it, but then you ain't want to say nothing because like, all right, man, it's always been that way, but it ain't about to be no damn more.
Yeah.
And I want to introduce my co-host, the co-host of co-hosts, the West Coast, the Midwest himself, went to school to a tiny school in rural Midwestern states.
This
You
is
won't
true.
bring it up right now.
Hey, no, you good. You need to do 2 rules. Kirk, that's bad.
Kirk's Vegas is what they call it in the streets. You know what I'm talking about? The man,
Sure.
the myth, the legend, the big time player himself, James. Big game. What you talking about? Willis Madison the third. What's going on, baby?
Hey, what's good, America? Look here. I mean, at the end of the day, we here. And we've made it this far. And we've made it this far because you know what? We ain't about the bullshit.
Nope.
You know, we 2 years into this thing now. We're coming up on 2 years into this thing. And all we've done is keep it 100. And we've talked about what's going on in America with sports and pop culture. I mean, that's who we are. What's up, man?
Hold on, and I have to introduce our producer for her 30 seconds. No, not even 30 seconds. Her 10 seconds. My youngest,
Uh-oh.
Zoe Hat Trick Turner.
Yo, so.
All right, they can't hear you guys. No. Let's say that shit for the Disney Channel. I'm trying to cash in like Britney Spears, daddy. So it is what it is.
Look, man, that's hilarious. I think
I got a
right there.
I got a cute little racially ambiguous child, which I am about to turn into Jamie Spears. I need to be a conservator, and I need to be in charge of all the monies. Everything to come in, I need to see it first. Let's just call it what it is.
Hey, I'm gonna say it once, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. Free Britney. That's how I feel about that. You're not gonna get me. You ain't gonna get me caught up in that. That's a mess.
I am about to Joe Jackson the shit out of this family. I'm just going. We gonna get this money.
Hey, look here, man, America. Let's just call spade a spade. And you know, at the end of the day, we all know what's going on. But let's just go ahead and talk about it.
Brian Flores.
This is some shit. This is
the ex-head coach of the Miami Dolphins and longtime coach with the New England Patriots. I don't even want to call it dry snitching. He's pulling back the veil even further back than what it was pulled back with Gruden. He's pulling the veil even further back with what's going on as far as like these coaching hirings. The rule is there for a reason. And the fact that there has to be a rule that you have to interview a black coach is bullshit all by damn self. The fact that the Rooney Rule has to be, all right, listen, I know y'all got y'all guy. I know you do. But let's just interview a couple of these black guys just to make them feel good. The fact that shit even exists is bananas. It's ridiculous because I'm not going to sit here and say that every coach is qualified because every coach isn't. That's black, white, indifferent, whatever. But the fact that you have to make a rule that, all right, you got to talk to at least a couple of black guys. No, I'm sorry. You got to talk to at least one of the black guys. That's bullshit. Go ahead.
Look, man. Look, I mean, there's a lot to unpack from this. We're going to try to keep our time limits decent. We've been getting a little bit better. And since I'm not drinking nearly as much weekly, this should help. Here's the truth of it. To me, this all starts exactly where we have had conversations on this show. And the organization in question that's really kicking us off is no surprise to me. I love my teammates, man, because we talk about this stuff all the time. You know what I mean? It just comes, as a part of being football guys. And love everybody's comments. I went to school with people that are way smarter than me, intellectually, book-wise, which is good for me, good for the ego. But the one comment I had is the comment that really matters, in my opinion. It's not shitting on anything they say, because everything they said was very much a truth of the situation, what's going on, the practices, why they don't have to, we know those things. I'm just going to get to what's good America portion would say, Chris. And this is where you and I would, because we've talked about this organization, we've talked about this owner. It's the Giants. What don't you expect about the Giants? This is like, listen, this is like old money. Do you understand what I'm saying, America? So you can throw all the, black coach, no. Let's just talk about what it is at the end of the day. This is the guy that was so happy to get rid of Odell Beckham and all that foolishness. Yeah, see, I'm going to tie it all together. This is the same guy that has been all for no celebrations in the NFL. See, let me tie it all together for you, America. At the root of all this, we'll get to the other teams and that, but I just want to start with this point. The fact that the New York Giants are at the center of it, that this is what kicked it off.
It just seems right.
You shouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? If I'm white, and you know what? And I just care about the goodwill and people deserving the right thing. I would be offended by John Mara and what the Giants stand for. Listen, man, this organization is not that far removed from winning 2 Super Bowls within a 5-year span.
No.
Understand what I'm saying? It's a proud franchise. It's the franchise that gave you Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells, Lawrence Taylor. There's a lot of great history. Frank Gifford, I'm just throwing names out now from the 50s and shit. I don't think I was thinking about Regis and Kathy Lee for some reason, Chris. I don't know. Frank Gifford popped out, right?
That was a good show, though, when those two were together, Regis and Kathy Lee, though. That was a good show.
So in honor of Kathy Lee, I'll go ahead and sip some more wine here.
Oh, my God.
Shout out Kathy Lee. But let's just keep that there. That's the bottom line, CT. And I know you can agree with me. It's John Mara. I wouldn't expect anything. It's getting to the point. I'm such a fan of the granddaughters, but I'm starting to wonder about Rooney and Kate. I really am. Sometimes I'd be like, you know what? There was a time where I was like, man, what I wouldn't give. But, I think Rooney's cool because she's dating Joaquin. I think they married or something. And Joaquin's been with us for a minute. Joaquin crazy.
For a minute.
So I think Rudy, all right. Kate, Kate the fine one, every once in a while I'm like, I wonder, is Kate the type of person you'd be like, all right, cool, and you'd match with her on Bumble or something? And then, she just, I'm just bullshit, Kate, man. I'm pretty sure you're a kind person. But I'm gonna stick to your granduncle or your grandfather or whatever it is.
This story went left immediately.
That's what happens, man. I just get a couple sips. I haven't had, haven't had any in 3 days, and I'm like, ooh. It went all the way to Hollywood.
It went left.
But truth of the matter is that, Chris, just to bring it back to you, man, that's the truth of the matter. It's John Mara. I'm not John Mara, however, listen, it doesn't surprise me.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Here's, to me, with this whole Brian Flores situation as well, before we jump to obviously your organization and the others that have been connected and done similar things, I'm not surprised. But I want to talk about it from this sense of Brian Flores and why I think this, at the end of the day, is going to have way more impact than Colin Kaepernick ever did. And trust me, Colin Kaepernick had an impact.
Yeah.
But this is the reason why I think Brian Flores really is going to have a serious, I think his impact is going to be even bigger. when he put out his statement and he said, I understand that by me doing this, I may never get to do what I love. If you're going to be a martyr, be a martyr.
Right.
Like, this is Brian Flores. At the end of the day, he'll probably maybe get an opportunity to maybe run a college program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And then from there, now you're feeling for those kids, because are those kids going to go there with the way he's going to end up being blacklisted? So with him being able to go and say it in the statement, that's what he said. We're just, obviously it's hitting the news today. We're all reading it, and me and Chris, we do have full-time jobs, so this will drop in the morning or sometime before noon, Mountain Time. But let's get to the crux of that. That's the one thing I haven't heard from everybody. I've heard from everybody this or that. The crux of what he's saying is, this is a beautiful thing that I'm doing because it's bigger than me. And sometimes, as much as I appreciate Colin Kaepernick, I don't ever really think, he understood. I think he did, but at the end of the day, there's some parts of me to where it's like, you're going out on your ass, 2-14. Brian Flores was one game away from making the playoffs.
2 years in a row.
And everybody knows how bad the Miami teams were. We talked about it. So him going out and going, well, listen, if I don't do this, I probably get a D coordinator spot. Maybe they usher me into somewhere. I'll get my shot maybe a couple years down the road. There's an opportunity for that. Maybe he goes back now that Josh McDaniels is left the nest. Maybe Bill says, hey, come on back. I think you're actually the guy that should be running this team. Come back to me. And when I shut it down in the next few years, you'll have this organization, you'll have Mr. Kraft, and it can in a sense almost be like a Mike Tomlin situation, because look at what's really happened since Robert Kraft has owned the Patriots. Like, they've only had like 3 head coaches. It's been really Parcells, Pete Carroll, and Bill Belichick. That's it.
I was about to say it was only 2. I forgot about Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll had those 2 stints before he said, you know what?
Let me take this shit to college.
Yeah, this had a good year, had a couple okay years, 500 years. This might be enough for me to be able to take this to the kids. And then he took that to Southern California
and ran with it.
And did things that they have not seen since. But I think they got an opportunity. Another show for another day. Way too soon to be talking about that school. Anyway, so man, I really appreciate like how he's worded this and understands what this means. And because of what he's done and what he's said, I think it has allowed these other coaches that have been going through this and have just been trying to, you know what, maybe we should just jump in this with them. We all black, it gives the Eric Bieniemys that don't have to necessarily. And then again, he might be jumping in this lawsuit. Like, I don't know.
Why wouldn't he?
It's class action. I mean, Brian Flores' name is on it.
So here's my deal. I agree with you. I don't see a reason why Eric Bieniemy shouldn't hop in it. I don't see a reason why Leftwich shouldn't hop in it. I don't see a reason why Todd Bowles shouldn't hop into it. Like, I get it. You're essentially dying on the cross and you're putting your livelihood on the line. Now, I agree with you again, which is rare, like us agreeing so damn much.
Yeah, this is one of those topics where we don't have too many of those in America, but we're both like thinking the same thing. And he's going to say something dope. So let me step out of the way here. So
to deal with Cap, I don't think Cap fully understood, like, all right, this is what you're doing, and there's a 99% chance you won't be able to play again. Because Cap, let's call a spade a spade. Cap wanted to play. That's the thing behind all of this. Like, Cap was really thinking, all right, at the end of this, somebody's going to give me a shot.
Mm-hmm.
These coaches understand that, all right, we'll say coach as of right now. All right, if I do this, I'm pretty sure I'm done. And I believe Flores gets it. I don't want to dive into money and saying his family's straight and everything. And maybe they are, I don't know how he handles his money. But Flores fully understands that, all right, like I'm really like diving on the on the axe for y'all on this one, and this is bullshit. Now, I feel it's only right if I tackle the Dolphins first in this. All right.
Yeah, what's up with your boy, man?
There are some known unknowns when it comes to football. There's some known unknowns. And this includes like arena football, high school football, like everything. A couple of these are, listen, you don't run up the score if you don't have to. If you're up by a bunch, all right, just run the ball, no explosive plays. Listen, if a guy's limping and about to go down, like, don't kill him, just let him go down. Like, there's a bunch of unwritten rules. And when it gets to professional football, like, hey, and there's drafts involved, all right, if we're tanking, we'll have this conversation. It is what it is. Like, I don't have to tell you, but you know, and I know you know that we're tanking this season. And we're going to get our guy. Well, first of all, it wasn't my guy. I wanted Hibbert. Anyway, we're going to go get our guy. He's pulled back this curtain, and the owner, whose name I refuse to say, which I love, I have the utmost respect for this man because I have family members who actually, like, I'm trying to get like this, but I got family members who actually know this man and have eaten dinner with this man. For him to say
that connection, listen, I'm gonna help. Let me help you.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't want to alienate. I don't want to alienate family on this one. So
can I honestly tell you? Okay, this is going to be controversial, but I think you and I are on the same page. I don't have a problem with him paying me to lose. Like, I wouldn't have an issue with that. I would probably say no the same way. But here's the deal. You're not going to fire me either the way you fired me. Like, I'm going to have to really lose this job. Like, I'm going to have to lose this job. Or you're going to have to make sure that if we tank and I better have an opportunity somewhere else. You better talk to the Good Old Boys Network. That's the point of what's going on with this. And they have to, listen, it's my team. Like, Stephen Ross is a billionaire for a reason. He is allowed, and I get that's the point. Because, see, that's the point that some of our Americans are going to say. Well, they are their own entities. It doesn't matter who they hire, black, white, Puerto Rican, Haitian. I get that. And you're right. And that's not the point.
No.
Point is, when there is a Byron Leftwich available who just wins a Super Bowl and he's your all-time greatest franchise quarterback, and you know what? You can listen to him. Or maybe a Todd Bowles who had a 10-win season with Ryan Fitzpatrick. And those guys are right there. And you know what? Bruce is like, this is why I have so many women and black assistants under me, and I'm giving them all the credit. So you guys can go, hey, we want a Super Bowl. You should take this guy off my staff. I'm trying to pay it forward, especially with Bruce Arians. As long as he was a coordinator in the league, he understands how few the chances are, even for a guy like him. So why wouldn't you have hired Byron Leftwich when you drafted Trevor Lawrence? Byron Leftwich was a top 7 pick. He understands being the franchise savior. Like, he knows what that feels like.
Now,
but you,
this one,
but you take Urban Meyer. You understand? Like, that's the crux of this.
So
this whole Brian Flores.
Let me dive into this one. All right. So you hit Jacksonville, so I can talk now. I can't talk about the owner.
I'll handle Miami, but yeah. I'm going to keep it within the context of what Brian Flores is doing this, so American can understand a little more, because that's the point. You have Leftwich, who wants to coach this team. He wants to coach that kid, because you see Trevor Lawrence, I see dollar signs.
This dude is
play. He can play.
He has a face that you can market for days. And here's the best part about it. You bring in Byron Leftwich. one of the all-time greats. Like outside of Mark Brunell, it's Byron Leftwich. I don't give a damn about anybody else kind of in between. Like it's Mark Brunell, and then it's Byron Leftwich. And honestly, you can kind of go up and down. Depends on like if you've really been a fan. And
if David Garrard was in coaching, he'd be the other guy. Like there's three names, that are synonymous with Jacksonville football. And all three of those guys had great moments,
And with Leftwich, if you bring Leftwich, I don't give a damn where Byron Leftwich is from. I'm from Jacksonville. He's one of ours. Like I can't tell you how many people that I talk to that mainly one person in particular, but I can't tell you the people that I talk to that are like, oh, dude, if we get Leftwich, that's what's up. Like, he understands the city. And I'm going to be honest with you again. More black people buy season tickets in Jacksonville than any other demographic, period. Like, it's like black folks in Jacksonville love the Jaguars more than they love fucking crab legs. Like, it is what it is.
That's because the season tickets is like $300.
The season tickets is cheap as hell, though. I ain't gonna lie. So, like, if you get one, and I'll speak to it about the money. If you get one of our own, and Jacksonville, the hood, the black people in Jacksonville can see, oh man, they got one of us. I know Byron Leftwich. I got a Leftwich jersey still. Like I remember when they had Leftwich, they were good and everything else. You bring Leftwich, that's going to pack the stadium all by itself. You win a couple games. Like I'm not even saying win 10. You win 6 games his first year, 8 the next. All right, now 8 games might win you the AFC South. It's close because Tannehill's sorry punk ass, and you don't really know what's going on with the Colts. So like, and then the Houston Texans are still and are going to be a mess for the next 5 years, at least. So you bring in Leftwich, and like this is doing nothing but adding to your program. Now I get why they didn't want to bring him in because he wanted to bring his guy in, which every head coach wants to do. But the fact that Leftwich isn't the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars adds more fire to Brian Flores because all he has to say is, look. Just look around. You mean to tell me I can't go coach Denver or the Raiders? Who the Raiders should have kept their interim guy, but that's a whole different story. Like, look. So you mean none of my guys are good enough to coach any of these sorry-ass teams who had terrible-ass coaches who keep getting shot after shot after shot after shot? And my guys can't go? Bill O'Brien's sorry punk ass about to get another job in the NFL. Which I'm glad he's getting away from Alabama, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I knew when Stephen Ross took over the Dolphins, just so I have an idea. And I was just looking, Chris, and it looks like it was about 2007 was when he took over, I think, from the Huizenga family, I think. Or the owners before, I don't quite remember. But to tie this all into Brian Flores, the Dolphins, and all this, that's just what it's coming down to, man. Like at some point, if you want me to get you into a better place and do the right thing and you compensate me, you need to make sure that my name is not smeared. Like America, you got to understand something. The NFL is the most powerful sports entity in the world because it's 32 private sectors. The Jacksonville Jaguars with Shad Khan is their own thing. The McClaskeys up in Chicago, are their own thing. Stan Kroenke is his own thing in LA. You understand what I'm saying? The Maras are their own things. The Maras, I don't know if it's Mara Mara. He's really at the bottom.
And you got to mention the most powerful one out of all of them. That good old boy down in Dallas.
And Jerry Jones, he's the prime example of what your own entity is. They call it Stadium Jerry World, for crying out loud. Not its real name, but it is Jerry.
It might as well be.
So that's the point Brian Flores is making. It's like, first of all, you fired me from a job that, man, there's not a pundit that has not marveled at what Brian Flores has done over the last 3 years. Not one. And then here we are, this whole Tua situation. We don't really know what side Flores, like at this point, I don't know who's on who, but I do know for a fact that GM is wanting to keep Tua because he's trying to make himself right. And I understand that. We do that on this show all the time. It's all about being right.
That's it.
You know, who's to say Flores? Maybe Flores wanted Justin Herbert.
I would hope so.
I mean, maybe, you know, the tank for Tua was a big deal, but then Flores is like, man, I don't know this. Maybe his eye said, you know, as Chris Turner's eye said, give me the 6'6" kid. I want the prototypical. You know, I don't want the Drew Brees little guy. Like, I want the statue Peyton Manning, like that guy. What I think Trevor Lawrence, with the right coaching, has the opportunity to be. They got to get a guy in there though that can, you know. I respect Darrell Bevell, you know what I'm saying, but
not for him.
You got to get, like, he needs, like, that's why Leftwich just makes so much sense. He just spent 2 years with Tom Brady. All Byron Leftwich has to go, this is what Tom Brady did.
I'd listen. Shit, I'm a flag football quarterback, and I'd listen.
I'll do you one better. Jim Caldwell coached Peyton Manning for a little bit of time. How does he not have, like, been calling plays? Well, let me tell you what Peyton used to do. Like, you know, like the basic psychology of how we all, well, not you, Chris, because you were like top 100 in the country, like when you were 11 years old. You had that net. But whenever my uncle wanted to Jedi mind trick me, or my dad, they would go, well, Michael Jordan used to do this. You know, me getting my vertical, the start of my vertical is my uncle. I love that story. He used to tell me, I used to be like, Unc, I'm never gonna be tall, because I was a little shit, right? And my uncle would go, hey, well, you want to know? And I don't even know if it's true. I have to ask Corey Maggette if I ever get a chance to meet him. We ever get famous, Chris, like, for real. Corey Maggette was like the shit.
Right. Oh, I know. I remember.
Okay, he's one of the greatest to ever come out of the city. And Corey Maggette was built like a Greek god in high school. Like, he was 6'6", 225. Corey Maggette was a grown ass man in 18. That's the other way to put it. And my uncle used to go, well, you know why Corey Maggette has such a high vertical, nephew? I'm like, nah, Unc, why? Corey Maggette does 1,000 calf raises a night. And I was like 5'7", 5'8" at the time. I'm like, well, if Corey Maggette's doing calf raises, and Chris, when I tell you I did 5,000 calf raises a week for 4 months straight at my house. And no bullshit, by the time I was 5'9", I dunked a basketball. So I was like, well, now I have to listen to my uncle because he's right. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, that used to be like our athlete motivation. I see guys like Joe Burrow, so I know, like, the new school still has old school ways about him. Like
Joe Shiesty. His name ain't even Joe Burrow. It's Joe Drip,
Joey Drip Burrow.
That's exactly.
You know, so I think to just put a pin in this Brian Flores thing. I don't think we're done talking about this, America. We just want to get into a couple topics within this 45 to 1 hour window. And the main thing about all this is, like, real talk. NFL, like, all Brian Flores is really showing the truth of what it is. And we get it. And we've said it on the show. And I'm not ashamed to say it. And I don't mind anybody that actually is viewing us. I see our views are starting to come up. So thank you, by the way. It's starting to come up on you. But it's the truth of the matter. You can always talk to us about this because, unfortunately, it's not opinion spec. The NFL is still the biggest looking, I don't even know how to say this right. It's not even be eloquent. It's just going to be the truth. The closest thing to slavery still in the United States are the way NFL teams are.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if y'all noticed this or not, but when we brought up Joey Drip, Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow, that's called a segue. You know what I'm talking about? Because we get professional in what we're doing. Because the next topic, because everybody seemed to have forgotten, unless you were a Rams or a Bengals fan.
Or a Buccaneers fan, Jesus.
or a Bucks fan. There's
Or
Super Bowl.
yeah, it's a Super Bowl happening. Like
There's
Tom Brady and Brian Flores. Hugh Jackson over here talking about the
Yo,
Browns were paying me too to tank. Oh, were they, Hugh? I bet they were.
were the Hugh like you? It's
Hey, he might have it. He might have all those text messages saying, "Man, look here, man.
that
Jimmy,
seemed to be the thing to do, though. Like it seems to be the thing to do. But bro, there's a Super Bowl coming next weekend. I don't know if y'all remember that. Like I know right now everybody's talking about Ben retiring. Everybody's talking about Peyton showing up on SNL talking about some random show.
Peyton murdered SNL. That shit was hilarious, bro. Did you watch it? He murdered that, bro.
Peyton showing up on SNL, TB12 retiring. Like
Bad Bunny entered the Royal Rumble.
Bad Bunny in the Royal Rumble for
Johnny
something.
Knoxville entered the Royal Rumble.
That's how you know WWE's kind of struggling, but that's a whole nother show.
They over here just waiting for The Rock. Can you please come back and do this?
Just get your movie done and please come fight your cousin.
Please come fight you. Yeah, come fight your cousin.
God.
You know. But listen here, man. This is. I told Chris for the show, he's gonna roll his eyes a little bit, but this is what I truly enjoy about this Super Bowl matchup for me, America. For me, it's a coronation of just a lot of things that I've said throughout this show. What did I say about Joe Burrow? What did I say about him? We started this show and we didn't have the opportunity to really dive into how good Joe Burrow was because he was already on his way to the league, number one pick. But when I told you, what did I say about the way he played the position?
He was a pro quarterback day one.
I'd never seen anything like that. Everything he did made me go, this guy's jump to the NFL is going to be seamless.
Seamless.
You know, he had the NFL coordinator, quarterbacks coach with him for 1 year.
Yep.
He worked on all things. If you watch LSU tape, well, first of all, it looks eerily similar because, the way his Cincinnati team is constructed, it looks basically like LSU when you look at it. Stud running back behind him, can catch it and run it. Got another receiver on the other side, pretty good, T. Higgins. Got a guy decent in the slot, Tyler Boyd's 1,000-yard seasons back to back. And then he's got his main man, $100,000, that caught all them touchdowns that year. So all they've done on accident, Chris, can we call a spade a spade? On accident, they listened to their quarterback and said, don't worry about the O-line this year. Get me my guy.
Just get me somebody to throw to. Like I can fling it up. Like just get me somebody.
The Cincinnati Bengals have forever been made fun of. Their inability to pay players. Their inability to make, win a playoff game. They've been
in Cincinnati.
They've been a sign of futility in different ways. And they get the number one pick and the kid doesn't shy away from it. He bets on himself on his knee because I was wrong. Look at that, America. I'm the one that said he should have sat out. He bet on himself. He bet on his team. Good for him. And I want to apologize to the Cincinnati Bengals as they head to the Super Bowl. Because had you listened to me, you'd be drafting the top 3 right now.
Easily.
Hey, Joey Drip showed up, and y'all was like, you know what? We'll be all right. But back to giving ourselves credit, we knew the AFC North was going to be a dogfight.
All year long.
And it's going to be a dogfight for the next 10 years between him and Lamar Jackson. That's going to be something special to watch. So excited about that. So congratulations to them, Chris. I mean, what do you have about the Bengals, man, and just their run? And I mean, for goodness sakes, did this dude beat Patrick Mahomes? He beat the number 1 seed and beat a game, Derek Carr. The Raiders played good that game. I mean, he got a Tom Brady-esque break. It's almost feeling Brady-esque with Joe Burrow.
I mean, let's call a spade a spade. The Cincinnati Bengals have been on a playoff run since about week 13 because they've had to win to even get a wild card spot to even get invited to the dance. They had to fight to get there. So they've been in playoff games for the last month and a half. All right. Injuries happen. It is what it is. I think things would have been a little bit different if the Titans would have had a healthy 100% Derrick Henry all year long. Maybe, maybe not. Who's to say? At the end of the day, you beat Tannehill. Tannehill beat himself, whatever.
That was a great show, by the way.
But then, because you can call it, honestly, what the Cincinnati Bengals did was they stopped the excuse. Because with Tannehill and the Titans losing, you had the excuse. All right. Derrick Henry's been out all about 9 weeks. Tannehill, you never know what you're going to get either side of the coin. But when you go and beat the Chiefs in Kansas City, then it's like, now what? Like, what can you really say? Like, what excuse? Because they had their guys.
And beat them the exact same way.
And Patrick had the ball. And punk-ass Jackson Mahomes was still in the stands. Like, they had their guys. Like, they took the shots. They were on the ropes. They rope-a-doped, and they came back, and they won the game. And Joey Drip, like, I can't tell you how much this hurts me to have to talk positively about him. Now, mind you, I made this comment to one of my frat brothers who's a big-time LSU fan. I said during the season of the natty run that they had, like, this is honestly the best quarterback y'all have ever had. And, like, this dude's going to be good. I didn't expect this good. I'm not going to say that. He's going to be good in the pros. Now, coming forward, you beat Patty Mahomes in KC.
Twice.
You beat twice.
Twice in one season.
Which a lot of quarterbacks can't say. A lot of teams can't say. You did it. You got sacked 355 times against the damn Titans, and you still won. Yeah. You're coming back from major knee reconstruction, and you still won. Now, this is I hate when we agree this damn much. This is eerily close, scary close to that first Super Bowl that the Patriots won.
Yeah. Wow.
Because you got a team out of nowhere and a team that's supposed to win it. Yeah. Because they paid the money to win it. Yeah. Because, to be honest, like, at SoFi Stadium, like, these new Rams are the fastest show on turf. Period.
Yeah. And I think that's a great segue to congratulate them as well on doing what they did. Like, this is the second time they've done this, and it's paid off to give them a chance to win. So I give all the credit in the world to Les Snead. Stan just pays the bills. Les Snead, amazing what they did. To be able to go, you know what? We'll deal with, it's kind of what you see in the NBA with, like, the LeBron teams of, like, right, Miami and Cleveland. We'll pay the luxury tax. Because this is it. Matty Staffs, he's played the best part for Staffs is that he's played in domes his entire career. So he's only had to be outside, a few times. So he doesn't have the same wear and tear that Aaron Rodgers has, Russell Wilson has. These guys are all, are all similar in age. It's crazy not to have Tom Brady in the conversation.
I know, right?
But I'm thinking about these guys here to where, dude, I mean, the majority of his games have been played in domes, and now here he is 32, 33 years old. He's still in his prime and he's still got the arm. So they made the trade of going like, dude, we're not trading this guy for a couple. You're like, no, we like his contract. And I think they know he's made enough money. He's going to be the guy. He's going to guy that's going to go, like, let's restructure. Give me guys to throw the ball to. Cam Akers is still young. They got 2 years of that to figure out what they're going to do with that. And they can retool that O-line. They got some old guys. I think this is really kind of the last of my escapades of ha-ha, I told you so type deal with us, 85%.
No, it's not.
No, I mean, my give me a minute. I don't even know my give me minutes. There's so much going on in the world. I don't even know my give me minutes. But it's just getting to the point, America. Nope. That's what my give me minutes going to be. I'll say it that. So yeah.
All right.
Chris is right. It's not over. But kudos to them. Kudos to Von Miller. Aaron Donald has proven he just needs a Super Bowl, and he's going to be the defensive player of the first quarter of this century. Like it's when he turns on the switch, it's getting dumb. And I know you have to love seeing. You guys are built. You guys are built the exact same way. Like that's the thing about,
he's a little short.
You would have been Aaron Donald if you had Aaron Donald's work ethic.
I agree. Like, and he's a little shorter. That's the thing about it. Like
same speed. Yeah, it's
they
crazy.
have him 6'2" in his program, which means he's honestly probably like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
But here's how good and how
I'm gonna get that height exactly for you while you're going. Keep going.
Here's how ridiculous his numbers are. If he gets this championship ring, he can retire, be a first-round Hall of Famer, and you can't say much about it. Like there's no argument anybody can really make. Oh, well, he only played like 5 years. Look at the 5 years. Look at him. Like, who did more? Like, J.J. Watt? No, because J.J. got hurt a bunch. Oh, what about Julius Pepper his time? Yeah, Julius was good, but he didn't do more. Like, you can go number for number with your best defense. And that's the worst part about it. He's doing it from a defensive tackle position.
Yeah, it's inside. It's different. He's a Super Bowl away, Chris, to where you got to move. Warren Sapp's got to move out. He's got to move out the way.
And that's the thing. Warren Sapp gets pushed, not moved. He gets pushed out the way because this now becomes the standard. For my years, my coming out, Warren Sapp is the golden. Like that's what you looked up to. Before that, there was only I never really count Lawrence Taylor, even though I should. But I see him more of a linebacker. The standard, like the Old Testament of D linemen, and a lot of people won't know this name, but it was Deacon Jones. Like that's the father of all of this.
And these are guys in America to help you. When you're looking at a defensive line, a lot of the guys he's naming, even LT being a stand-up, he's the original stand-up.
Yep.
You know, he's talking about Deacon Jones. These are guys that all play basically outside here. Aaron Donald lines up 90% of the time inside.
And there's people around him. Like there's always there's 6 eyes looking at him all the time. Like it's ridiculous. And he still puts up stupid numbers. Within
the same realm of J.J. Watt, who is arguably one of the greatest defensive linemen.
Who does it outside.
And J.J. played inside too. But J.J. was 6'6". J.J.'s prototype.
Exactly.
Just a monster man. So
like J.J. is what you build on Madden for the prototype D. Oh, let me make him 6'6". Let me make him like 275, 270. Like this is what you make. Aaron Donald is not 6'6", but he's stronger than most O-linemen.
6 foot and 3/4. So yeah, he's a legit 6'1".
That's ridiculous.
Oh, and his bench press rep was 35 at the combine. So he's a different type of strong. And he ran a 4.68, which is the record.
That's Christ.
Which is the record for defensive line, interior defensive lineman. And his short shuttle was 4.39 at the combine, which makes all the sense in the world of why he's as good as he is. He is a freak of nature.
Explosion.
What part of what part is Jalen Ramsey from? He from the muck? He from down south?
Oh, he from the muck. Yeah. He's a South Florida, South Central Florida type kid.
Here he is. He's made it to the dance and he's premier. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, we all know the bells and whistles. You know, good for Cooper Kupp. He's getting a chance. He missed the last Super Bowl, so he's getting a chance to play. And honestly, he's got a better, quarterback thrown to him. And I mean, the bell of the ball, number 3. What can I say?
If anybody has a "I told you so" moment, if the Rams win and he acts like an asshole right after the game, I don't want anybody to say anything because he was right. And I'll be the first to tell you, like, man, Odell, I was one of the ones that's like, man, Odell just needs to sit down, whatever. He does.
That's why it's getting to the point, Chris, where where I feel like I'm making my money with doing all this. I am the wide receiver guru of the NFL. I can tell you if they still got it or not. Listen to what I say. This is not even my give me a minute, but I'm going to forever tell anybody that wants to talk to me about that position, that considers themselves a peer or a friend or a fantasy football league compadre, you need to ask me what I think about the position.
Not arguing.
That's it. That's all I'm at with that. That's not even my give me a minute. Hell of a matchup. I would like to announce this. But now I'm gonna wait till after give me a minute. You know what? I'm just gonna go into it. You know what? Let me just go into my give me a minute.
Okay, there we go.
I'm gonna go to Alicia. Let me just go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
America, give me a minute. This is 2 years in a row. I have told you I am not only the wide receiver guru, I am the midseason acquisition guru. If I tell you if a move like that's going to be made, and I say, hey, these are the implications, I have stood on it and give me a minutes for the past 2 years. Antonio Brown last year, Odell Beckham this year. I told you wherever Odell Beckham went, that team was going to, at worst, be in the Final Four. Because I have to give myself a little leverage just in case it's not his fault. Football is a very simple game. And I continue to try to explain to people how the modern game works. You have to have 3 bona fide one-on-one beaters. It doesn't matter what position they play, but you got to have 3 guys that can win one-on-one. Because one of those guys is going to get doubled, and then you have the ability to double the other one, and you got to have that 3rd guy. And they were able to do it without Tyler Higbee. That Blanton kid played a hell of a game, stepped in at tight end, and he's going to be a big part of why they're going to still be able to do everything they can do. America, it's just that simple. The wave of the NFL is simple, and you're seeing it before your eyes. This has been the last 2 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowls, legitimately, where you have seen this. You've seen a team that has had 3 guys that can hurt you man-to-man. That's the bottom line. Yes, the foundation still needs to be there. The reason Patrick Mahomes didn't stand a chance, he was on his 2nd and 3rd team O-lineman across the board. Of course, the O-line is the foundation. I love my guys, and they are the truth. But you know what those O-linemen need when they're in there taking all that abuse? They need skilled guys that are going to win. Like, straight up. They need skill guys that are going to get it done for them. So, America, I just want to let it be known this is going to be a hell of a Super Bowl. And I'm looking forward to continuing to be right about things to keep our Michael Jordan free throw percentage as a group up. Chris Turner has done his part. I'm going to continue to do mine. Welcome to What's Good America, a.k.a. Michael Jordan's free throw percentage. That's been my minute.
You know, as you take your sip, I'm going to take it as my sip because I don't have anything to figure.
You know what? This is all we need, too. This is exactly what we needed. We good. Hold on.
And this Give Me a Minute has been brought to you by Chic Workwear.
Chic Workwear. I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't shit unless you got this on your body.
That's it. Perfect. Chic Workwear, baby.
I'm back.
Bang, bang.
I just had to just say some ignorant shit. There we go.
All right, so America, I'm not going to take terribly long, but I just want to get this across. America, give me a minute. The shield is cracked. I don't mean the shield as far as wrestling and WWE and AEW, because that's nice. broke up a minute ago, and that's also a segue because we talk about wrestling soon. Nice. But the NFL, the shield, because that's what it's referred to, the shield, because everybody stands behind the shield. The shield is cracked. And there was little dents here and there. There was little scratches here and there that you can kind of sweep under the rug. I hate to say it, the sexual assault stuff kind of got swept behind the shield. Racism? Blatant racism? then you add sexual assault still, and then the concussion thing that you thought was done, but it's not done. The shield has a big ass crack in it, and it can only take so many hits before this shit breaks in half. Antonio Brown said what he said. We all, myself included, thought he was crazy until he pulled out receipts. Shit. The black head coach thing. You made the Rooney Rule, which honestly started the whole crack itself when you made the Rooney Rule. Now you're not abiding by it, really? More cracks in the shield. Your golden boy, who was a lightning rod and had like the jawline of a Greek god, is now gone. You don't really have anybody in the league from that old school era that can deflect things the way Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl does. Because if Patrick Mahomes, that's the new generation. Technically, he's a one drop rule. One drop of black blood and you're black. So Pat's one of us. Russell Wilson.
One drop, man.
I'm just saying it's the one drop rule. Russell Wilson, he's one of us. Like these new age kids, like they're not going to hide, they're not hiding behind the shield. Like, yeah, there's 32 separate assets in the NFL. But these quarterbacks aren't the same quarterbacks that are team. They have a brand, they have a family, and like they see their guys as their family, and they're going to step out on a branch for their guys. So these new guys, this is not the old NFL. This isn't even me and Walt's NFL. Like, this shield is about to fall in half, and like these kids don't care because they're living their dream and they're going to live it their way. That good old boys network, count your days, bro, because like that what's done in the dark is really starting to come to light. Like this internet age, nothing's ever gone forever. So if you sent that email, you sent that text message, you were late to a meeting with Brian Flores and you showed up drunk because you knew you weren't going to hire him in the first place, all that shit's coming out, bro. And I'm sorry so much cursing, but like I mean this, like it's done. Like the shield is cracked. And
lie detectors, boy. These lie detectors can be a mofo.
It's cracked. So I say all that to say this. I applaud, and I was one of the ones, I was with the old NFL, like you play through pain, you got a concussion, you sit a play out, you come back in. I was one of those guys. I applaud anybody who's playing football right now because you guys, you're looking out for your team and you're looking out for yourself. And it's equal. Like team and self are all the same thing. Health-wise, money-wise, and everything. Advertisement, everything. So I applaud you guys. My little cousin who's going to college next year, 5-star cat. Well, he's a 4-star. I was a 5-star. Just want to point that out. But like the NIL deals and all this other stuff, man, hey, I applaud all you young cats and everything you're doing. Don't stand behind the shield, stand on it. And that's been my minute.
Yeah, love it. I just want to add this about the shield. You know, once you've got cracks and breaks, don't just try to patch that crack and break. You just rebuild the whole son bitch. And that's the point I think Chris Turner's trying to make. Like, it's a wrap.
Yes,
and I love it, dude. And I love the fact that we've gotten this far. So let's get the hell out of here. Because
all right,
thank you to Anchor. We gotta let's thank everybody. We might actually put this on Spotify.
So shout out to Anchor, shout out to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, 9 Round Fitness, Rebel Coffee, Chic Workwear. You think you're a bad bitch? You must have on Chic Workwear. Ooh, everybody involved.
That was good. That was good.
Anybody involved with us right now, we appreciate you.
Montana Axe Bar.
Montana Axe Bar. Shout out to my big time producer, Zoe T. Hey, make sure you tune in, share it, like it, comment, love us. The producers coming in to say hi.
Hello.
All right, get out.
Goodbye.
All that being said, our picks are coming soon. Wrestling shows are coming soon. 90s shows are coming soon.
Oh,
Still coming.
and the great
Go ahead.
Dewan Edwards will return for another Super Bowl appearance, hopefully more beyond. So I wanted to announce that. Look for the Dewan Edwards football season and general life episodes coming here in the next week or so.
So with all that being said, the same question that I asked you tonight is the same question we ask you every night. And that question is what, Walt?
What's good, America?
What's good, America?